Okay, in my God and Amen in my video, another well, Truth Seeker Omega 1, he had an interesting comment, and once again it just motivated me to find those answers. Well, he was really making a comment, question, speaking about, everything being collective consciousness and all one. And he was saying that in a duality perspective, then, saying God and Lucifer the same and all those things. And, I would have to, within us, yes, it is. I mean, we can be both. We can be terrible and we can be great all at the same time. And I wanted to go through some things here. First, I'll go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Okay. Okay, chapter 7. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Chapter 3 first. All right. Verse 17. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 17 and 18. And it said, I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. That means good and bad. Okay, and in verse 18 it said, I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. And this goes into the other video that I made further on in these verses, talks about man hath no preeminence above beasts. And so, depending on how we carry ourselves, how we think, we can be, both. We can be either or, and our actions determine which force inside of us influence us. And now I'll go to that other verse I was talking about, chapter 7 of Ecclesiastes, verse 14. In the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider. God also hath set the one against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. Okay? And so the good times and the bad times, you can't have one without the other. I mean, this has been something that's been said, you wouldn't know what light was without dark, wouldn't know what good is without evil, and all those different things. And so neither would we if those things didn't exist in us, if we are all, a microcosm of the macrocosm. Okay, a miniature universe, as I said in that video. And so those things are set in our path just for that, and it helps us focus on the here and now. All right. And I go to Isaiah chapter 45, and this is the clearest statement I've heard. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. There it is. Do we not make peace and evil? We make peace and war, love and war, whatever you want to call it. We can be light and dark individuals, and we all exist in this big ball, this womb, this matrix. Okay. I have a video called We Are in the Matrix. I suggest, I recommend people watch that video, because the matrix, that word was actually mentioned in the Bible, and I break that down in that particular video. But it can't get any, And so to follow up on that comment, yes, one and the same. Okay? You can answer to the God in you, or if you reverse that, the dog in you, because it said we are a beast too. Or devil, God, whatever. And that's pretty much it. Now, I'm going to go to Egyptian divinities. Okay, Egyptian divinities, which the Hebrews of the Bible got most of their knowledge from. All right, Mustafa Gadala, for all copyright purposes and all that. And we're going to talk about Heru, or Horus, as people keep thinking this is Lucifer for some reason. No, Horus was the Egyptian version of Jesus, basically. All right, and then Set. These two. always against each other. Set is the Egyptian version of Lucifer. All right. Now you have Heru and Set, or Seth and Horus, and they provide, and it says here, they provide the archetypal, typical struggle. And Heru in this context is the divine man born of nature who must do battle against Set, his own kin, representing the power of opposition. Okay? And Heru ultimately restrained him and became reconciled with him. In human terms, life is a continuous quest for the divine within ourselves as symbolized by Heru. And Set, the story of their struggle, was not a historical event. Again, they never took these things literal, the way they tell people to take things so literal now and keep them in the dark. Okay? He even said these were rather a story containing lessons to be learned, just like the Bible is for the most part. Some things are historical, some things are not historical. Some things are just lessons to be learned in a certain way. And it says, we must continually learn and evolve like Heru, whose name means he who is above. In other words, we must strive to reach higher and higher. The obstacles within each of us represented by Set must be controlled and or overcome. Such obstacles are the ego, laziness, overconfidence, arrogance, evasiveness, indifference, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And so these are you got your Egyptian versions of God and devil, Jesus, Lucifer, those concepts, those two things that live within each of us, okay? And speaking of Set, what does a person do when they don't change? They're set in their ways. You see what I'm saying? Okay? And so this is where we are right now. So yes, there is that duality and things being one and the same within each of us. And it's a constant battle that goes on. These two characters were not historical characters to be taken literally. They were concepts, again, of nature, of our inner nature that we fight with and struggle with every single day. Okay? Do I snort that line of cocaine or do I stay sober? You know? Do I mean, okay, I'll just say it, just to, when guys are at that moment and they're deciding, okay, do I lose control and, okay, how can I say this? Come out or leave in or stay in. And guys, I'll just let y'all go with that. You know what I'm talking about. What I mean is that's probably one of the moments where, you're challenging, you're really fighting with yourself the most. You know what happens if you stay in, if you come out, all right, that innuendo is over. I'm sure y'all got that. All right. I just want to drive home that point. I'm not trying to be vulgar here. But that's what it is. So yes, it's a duality thing. Okay. And we are, a singular duality walking around. Okay, because there's what we are, the living soul, that battles against what we use as our vehicle, the flesh. So there it is.